Everybody, we are filming another episode. This is number 85. And you're either listening or watching to it.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to it or watching it. Oof, man. Dang it. Maybe I do get nervous.
See, I forced you into that one.
Yeah, you really cuckold me on that
Manifested the old nervous intro.
Yeah.
And that's all right.
All right. Watch this. Nervous? Gone. Everybody, episode 85. Welcome back. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching. The support that you may or may not give us, because you could watch this and then leave a hate comment like the most of the people that do. But
For the good commenters.
yeah, you're probably a dedicated listener anyway. So for that, we're going to bring you episode 85 on bees. To my right, Easton Bennett.
Yep.
B.
Beasted.
With a B.
And Broden with a B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No last name. You're like Cher and Seal.
Yeah, that's
Eat
it.
your
And
own
Broden.
baby.
Yeah.
And Broden. Everyone knows who Broden is.
Yeah.
So tell me what you guys know about bees.
So what I know about bees is that I've been stung by one in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a bee, though?
What else stinks?
Wasps
Mm.
and hornets are
Okay.
different than bees.
I didn't ask him. He kind of snuck up on me, so I'm not entirely sure what he was.
Right.
But I think he was a Japanese bee because it died immediately after.
What?
It did the
A
old,
little bonsai.
yeah, the old bonsai
Oh.
suicide.
Where'd he sting you at?
In the arm, back of the arm, like we're diabetics.
Only
both
time
of
you
us.
ever been stung?
Yeah, I think literally I was 8 years old, been stung once.
I think I've been stung 4 times.
Isn't it crazy how low of a number it is?
Bee stings?
But it's something like
Yeah,
you're
It's
always
very
kind of
few
worried
and far
about.
between.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always in the back of your mind, though.
You said Japanese bees, and like I'm pretty sure Japanese have like some rare form of hornet now, and they're like this big.
Yeah.
They're giant. So I thought it was that, and I go, "There's no way you're alive right now."
Another reason to hate the Japanese.
I don't mind them.
Yeah, it's a
They're
very clean
probably
place.
one of my.
I'm
like,
one of them.
You
No, you're
really?
not.
Yeah. No.
I could be confused.
Have you ever done like an ancestry type thing?
No, like 23andMe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I haven't.
Thought about it.
I think I'm related to like King George the Eighth,
Mm.
or no, actually Sir Edward Longshanks is like my uncle. Found out from my dad, and he never lies to me. So
It's the most beautiful.
yeah.
It's like-
So yeah, Sir Edward Longshanks and King Henry or something. It's always like a Henry, George, all those kings.
well, they always named their kin their names,
Yeah,
and then so now it's just
Keep
Henry
it.
the
That's why you
Eighth.
get 8 of them.
yeah. Let's see how many I can make. But yeah,
So-
no, bees. I don't know a ton about bees.
Well,
I
the
did-
bee that stung you, if it was a honeybee, it would have been a
Shot honey in a mouth.
female.
Oh.
The males don't have the stingers. Females do.
So I thought you couldn't get stung by honeybees. What are the ones you can't get stung by?
Bumblebees.
Bumblebees.
They don't really sting. They're not very aggressive. I don't
Bumblebees are the big ones that are almost look like
Fluffy.
they've ate too much.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, post Thanksgiving bees.
Yeah, I like those. I think they're cute.
I saw the first ever bumblebee in my life, like a year ago.
You were the first person to ever see a bumblebee.
Yeah, and I put it on Wikipedia so that people find it. You probably found it on there.
It was on there, written by Easton Bennett. I go, no way.
I know him, but no, I saw it hanging around a bush, and I was like, "What the hell is that thing?" And I asked someone next to me, and they said, "That is a bumblebee." And at that point, I felt like I shouldn't have asked somebody. You
Felt
know?
like you probably should
felt
have.
like I'm like, I'm 25. I should probably know what that is.
Yeah.
Happens.
It happens.
They're cool though. I like those ones.
So, Broden, I'm sure you know much more about bees because you work with someone that is actually a beekeeper.
Mm-hmm. He's an apiarist, they call it.
Yeah.
Registered in the state of North Dakota.
You have to register.
You don't have to, but like there's a database that they keep track of all of them on. So like you can see where people have all their hives.
Okay.
So if you're going to go put a hive out, you don't go too close to somebody because they'll.
it's like gang wars. bee
yeah,
wars.
they get into gang wars if they're too close to each other. A hive will infiltrate a different hive and kill all the other
Oh,
bees.
not like the owners don't.
No,
Like I'm
no.
not running out
no, no.
flamethrower to
You
someone
don't-
else's hive.
You don't have like pitchfork and torch in your hand and
We're gonna assemble our employees.
They probably settled it like men with that guy's old revolver.
Yeah.
Right there. 15 paces
And a
in turn.
bandolier.
Yeah.
at high noon.
So it is like gang wars, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
imagine
the
that.
bees turn it into game. It's a total race war.
What if the beekeepers, what if they're doing like attack bees? What if they're intentionally letting their bees take over those other hives so they can?
Can you train them to be lethal? You know,
I wonder if you could train a bee, like if you just put a whole bunch of them in a freezer, like how they do. They cool them down to like pass them out.
Like
Then
sleeper
tie
bees.
strings around them and walk a bee. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
people do that?
What?
Yeah, like they put them in a freezer to cool them down. And they get real sleepy,
Yeah.
and then while they're
I think
kind
they
of
almost. I don't know if it's
unconscious,
sleepy. I think they almost die.
they
Yeah.
almost do. But yeah, they tie like fishing line around them and then walk the bee.
So the bee's flying around,
That
and
sounds
you're
horribly
holding the fish.
inhumane.
Wow.
It's just a bee.
Yeah, but it's not
You know?
just a bee.
No,
I mean,
bees
we're
do
gonna
a
learn
lot.
today that bees are incredible.
Without them,
We'd cease to exist.
civilization, as you know, it would be different.
Yeah.
Really?
You wouldn't be able to sustain
we'd
large
crumble.
cities.
Yeah. No honey or honeycombs.
Nor
No
there's
pollination.
No concrete.
No concrete.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm lying.
How did we get there?
There's no
Yeah.
fresh
Hey,
water without
there's
bees.
just a bunch of like active crews of bees that are pouring concrete.
Yeah.
at
They're
their
drilling for
maintaining.
oil.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We
They
got
see-
bee clan 412 is coming in tomorrow. We can
Yeah.
finish my driveway.
They seek cracks in concrete and then fill them.
Yeah. Okay. I should get some bees in my garage.
Yeah, they'd have a heyday.
Yeah. Probably start their own home.
Well,
I
hopefully,
think they got a home under my shed.
Hopefully it's bees though,
Yeah.
not
it's
hornets.
the
Do you have
good
any? Do you have the differences on there between a bee and a hornet and a
I
wasp?
don't.
That's all right. We got a guy we can ask.
Yeah, we do. We will. We'll in a second. We'll get into the episode a little bit.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
we're gonna call our expert.
Yeah, and just to go back to that, we got some good feedback that we like. The people liked the call in.
Yeah.
They liked a little bit of expertise minus our random hypothesizing.
Mm-hmm.
As one person put it, to put these idiots in their place.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of random hypothesizing, I didn't grab any comments, but I did see on one of our TikToks, the one that you posted when you were doing that Jello theory,
Yep.
and somebody said, "How could you get this so wrong?" So apparently you missed a step in your Jello
Probably.
theory.
Probably. I didn't study it a ton.
Yeah.
I think it's close.
It's got to be somewhat there.
Did he add any context to it?
No.
Hmm.
He just said, "I can't believe you got this so incredibly wrong." I chuckled.
You know what? We'll circle back.
I love that. Just no correction. Just to
No.
totally shit on you,
Yeah.
but
Just let him know, like,
Just says it's not
Hey.
worth filling this guy in
Yeah.
at all.
I don't have the time for this, but you were wrong. And then he kept scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me want to think. I'm going to Google that Jello theory. Nathan, maybe you can do that. Let's see. Let's get the real Jello theory on here.
See what you got. So, bees are essential for the health of people and the planet. Honey and other products have medicinal properties, and the role of bees as pollinators make them vital for food supplies.
I'm an anti-honey guy. So
What?
I love honey.
You're an anti-honey guy.
what do you have honey with?
Coffee.
Yeah, I
You
stir.
put honey in coffee
Yeah, I
Yeah.
stir a fat teaspoon into my coffee every day.
every day.
Every morning.
What got you guys on that?
We'll tell you.
Yeah. But it's
Allow
really
me.
good for you.
Yeah.
Did you get infiltrated from your bee man?
I did. And he got me on it.
Put honey in your coffee.
It's a
good.
superfood, dude.
Yeah, it's incredibly good for you.
Superfood. Huh?
Yeah, like it's good for your immune system. It's good for your digestive system. It's good for your circulation, like everything.
Yeah.
It's really good for you, and it's all natural.
All right. Nathan? Jello theory?
Are you talking about the Jello theory about like planes?
Yes.
Okay. You want me to just explain it?
Yeah.
Okay. It says there's pressure on all sides, so even if the Jello is shaking and the object shaking along with it, the pressure suspends the object. In other words, a plane is not going to suddenly drop out of the sky due to turbulence in the same way that an object won't drop out of the middle of a bowl of Jello.
That's close.
So
Yeah,
I think, because what you said was you individually are the thing in the Jello,
Yeah.
whereas
I
they're
meant
saying
the plane.
the plane is the or the thing in the
Well,
Jello.
if we go really macro here, I'll never fall out of the plane.
Essentially, you are the plane.
Yeah. The plane is the turbulence. I'm the plane.
And what we meant to say, without bees, there is no planes.
Or concrete.
Because they don't know how to fly.
Yeah.
That's how we learned
How
to
planes
fly.
learn.
Yeah.
I gotta study these
But
little,
study the bees.
these little
We have-
planes.
We're having
Tiny
planes
planes.
watch a
planes
whole
all
bunch
over.
of.
And then we made the first plane modeled after the bee, and we said, "I can't fit in this. We have to make this much bigger." And we did.
And then
Can't
we
even
had
fit one
the
seat in here.
planes watch a whole bunch of bee film.
Bee film.
Yeah, just watching them fly, and the plane's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I can do
seems
that.
easy enough.
Yeah.
Get the hang of this.
And you water
Starts
it.
flapping its
Yeah.
wings.
That's awesome. I got a bunch of little planes flying under my shed. We should make some.
Make some bees.
Make some bees.
So,
So superfood, huh?
yeah, that's what they're saying. I'll get into that a little bit later. But
Okay.
there are around 20,000 known bee species worldwide.
Holy
How do we know that?
They counted.
Who counted? That's why I'm wondering who counted.
Guinness
Apiaries.
World Records.
Apiaris, whatever. What's the word?
Apiarist
Apiarist.
An apiarist.
is a beekeeper.
So yeah, I think you covered that.
Okay.
So they like do. So once you register with the state, they assign you. They go, okay, you got like this 5 acres. You count how many species there are.
I don't think so, because
And
these
then-
people are.
the apiarians national committee got together and everyone just tallies. I had 12. 7. All right, cool. 4 here, and then like
Finally get
20,000.
to
And then we got an
20,000.
overlap here, so it's 4 minus
Yeah.
1.
He's like, yeah, actually, I had the Bermuda bee too. I was like, all right,
Good pull.
Scratch that one off. Yeah, a little alliteration. It's easier that way.
Really good.
Yeah.
So, 20,000 known species worldwide, and over 4,000 are native to the United States. Humans only manage a few of these, and most species are wild.
Native to the United States, so like,
They're from here.
okay, but we like worldwide, there are 20,000.
Yeah.
How many did you say are native?
It's
Four.
about 20%.
4,000.
20% of bee species are native to the United States.
Yeah. How did
Good
they get
math
here?
on
I
that one.
wonder. How did they get here?
They would have to fly.
They were watching plane
imagine
film.
They walked.
Yeah.
They got on a boat and they're like, God, this would be much easier if we could fly.
Just taking a rest.
We can.
Sometimes
20,000.
when I was at work a couple summers ago, I was out in the oil field, wherever I was, and there's a bunch of bees hovering around the backside of the truck for whatever reason. And they were like all over the cooler. And I don't know if they were like thirsty or something. So I took a water out of the cooler and I put a few drops around the tailgate, and I just, it's there if they need it. It's a hot day.
They're working
I was-
hard.
I was worried
You're
about
pretty-
them.
Yeah, pro.
I was worried.
I'm
He was like, I
I'm
can't lose
super
my
pro
honey.
bee. Yeah, I'm super pro bee, dude. These are awesome.
Absolutely.
How many bees would I need to like own to get me just enough honey for a year? You know, could I get like 20 bees?
You yourself could probably have enough honey out of one hive, which I'm not exactly sure on this. We'll ask our expert when we do, but I think there's maybe about 5,000 bees to a hive.
That's a lot of bees.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty small.
Close. An average beehive can hold around 50,000 bees.
50. Oh,
Close.
to a hive.
Average.
Not
An
even.
average beehive can hold around 50,000
Only
bees.
10 times off.
Oh,
Close.
plus or minus 45,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's underneath my fun facts about bees section here.
There we go.
We'll touch on that a little later. So, as well as valuing bees for their honey, people have come to recognize the importance of bees promoting food security and a variety in plants and animals. However, a rise in factors such as pesticide use and urbanization means that bees are currently in decline, negatively affecting many of the Earth's ecosystems. A loss of bees would affect honey supplies, but more importantly, world food security and biodiversity. Without them, the world could be a very different place.
What do we have the honey though, other than honey?
What?
What do we use it for?
Bees?
Yeah, like they do honey.
The honey is
Pollination.
just for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
food
ex-
supply.
yeah. Well, I mean, so as far as pollinating goes, so like they play a huge role for like.
And pollinating is them pretty much just like on the plants. They're just
Well,
like,
No.
They take the pollen from the plant and they.
Land on another plant.
Yeah.
oh, so they're just like vehicles.
Like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
let's just say they accidentally.
They're
Or
like
they don't.
UPS.
Yeah. They'll step in another
air.
flower and they get some pollen on them, on their leg or something. Then they go to a different flower.
They don't
And the
even like
poll-
suck it up their ass or something. I feel like they would
No, I
have to
don't think
suck
so.
it up like a syringe and then go.
You know,
squirt
I'm
it
not
into something
exactly
else.
sure how they do it, Nathan. That might be something for you. Like, how does a bee pollinate?
There's no way they just walk and get it on their feet, and just rub their feet on the next flower.
Pretty good
They
guess
do.
though.
That's how. It sticks to their legs.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever seen like pollen on a bee?
Oh no.
Is that where it is?
It's all over their
a
legs.
couple times a week? I probably see it.
You don't- yeah.
I hate when they like walk on my table.
That's
I get
got
pollen
to be
everywhere.
bee watching, like bird watching, but you're just bee watching.
You'd have to have really good binoculars.
Yeah, or you'd have to be really small.
They could be. Imagine
you're
if
the
you were
size of the
shrunk
bee.
down. Yeah, you were in the beehive.
Yeah, Marvel should do like a bee man. I'd watch that.
B-Man would be way cooler than
He could fight
Ant-Man.
He-Man.
And
She-Man?
She-Man?
I don't want to watch that.
Special episode
Yeah.
goes to Thailand.
I think She-Man is from Thailand. I think he just goes there.
That's their national hero.
Yeah. What do you got, Nathan?
I got bees bite the anthers, hold tight, and buzz to shake the pollen out of flowers.
They bite them?
To hold on to them.
Just shake them. So it
Yeah.
says that like bumblebees are living tuning forks, using a middle seed to propel thousands of pollen grains from a flower in under a second.
Damn.
It's a lot.
Millions under a second. That's a lot.
Nathan, now that you're muted, just untwist that thing on the right side of the mic and just tilt it a little bit more towards your mouth.
But not all bees produce honey.
Too much.
It is one of the main reasons people value them, though. The substance is a natural sweetener with many potential health benefits. People have used bee and bee-related products for medicinal purposes for thousands of years. Researchers have noted claims that it has antioxidant, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer properties. In traditional medicine, people use honey when treating a wide variety of conditions, such as eye diseases, bronchial asthma, throat infections, tuberculosis, thirst, hiccups,
Thirst.
fatigue,
Hey,
dizziness, hepatitis, constipation.
Could you imagine just being so thirsty you just chug a jar of honey?
You imagine your eyes
God.
hurt and you rub it on your eyes?
People, they're beesing.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
People are beesing, dude. If for the listeners that don't know what beesing is, it's when you take a little bit of like Burt's Bees chapstick and you rub it on your eyelids because there's something about it that like helps keep your eyes open if you're tired, like if you're driving long distances and stuff like that.
I think it makes you under the impression that you are under the impression of drugs. That's what I've heard.
So you're under the
Don't
impression that
even-
you're under
don't-
the
oh,
impression.
okay? You're under so many impressions. It's crazy.
Bit of
You're
an
just
impressionist.
impressionist.
yeah,
Yeah. Something's not
kiss.
quite. Want to?
yeah. There you go. Hand kiss.
Do you know what honey is? Is
Uh,
like honey is like how it's made. It's actually I think I have it in here somewhere. But
Bee spit.
yeah, it's regurgitation. Bee
it's
spit.
spit.
Yeah.
I just had a shit for some reason.
Close. Just a letter off.
So they suck up all the flower juice, come back to the hive, and then just drop off whatever they drop off in the honeycomb.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then they
so
store
But
it.
you know why they do that?
it's from flowers.
It's food. It's for them,
It's food.
right?
It's food.
Honey comes from flowers.
Honey
Any
comes from
flowering
bees.
plant.
Yeah, I know it comes
So
from
like
bees. They're
crops,
just the vehicle, but it's not.
wildflowers.
I don't think the bees are just. They can't just sit in their box forever and then just make honey out of their mouths.
No, they have to
Poop
go
comes
get it.
from us, but we have to eat food first.
Yeah.
Honey is the byproduct of them going and slurping up a flower
So they slurp it up, come back, and then spit it into a
into
cool
a cell.
shape. Yeah.
Into the honeycomb.
How do they get it into that cool shape?
I think it's just their natural instinct.
Yeah.
That's the shape that they build. They like it.
That's like the size that they are. So like when the queen bee is making all their new bees, all the little hatchlings, they come out of those honeycombs. Perfectly bee-sized.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the queen bee lays eggs in a certain spot in the hive encased in royal jelly, which is like super honey.
They call it royal jelly?
100% they do. I promise you they do. I actually eat this thing called superfood honey. Me and Liam both do. And it's made with royal jelly and regular honey and a thing called propolis, which is like
Yeah.
bee pollen,
Propolis.
I think, maybe. I'm not sure what propolis is.
Yeah.
Nathan, Google what propolis is.
I saw a thing online that said bee pollen makes your tits
PRO.
big.
P-O-L-I-S.
Yeah. Like the bottle of bee pollen. So you can get a pill of it.
Yeah.
Apparently it's supposed to just,
Get you honkers.
yeah.
It's really good
Really?
for you.
Well, that makes sense.
Really?
So you saw that picture that Cindy posted on Facebook of all of us the other day, right?
Yeah.
You see how big my arm looked?
Yeah.
I've been taking propolis.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a natural, send a natural creatine.
Pretty much, dude.
Is that why bees are so ripped?
They're really strong.
Yeah. That's how do you think they're able to get all the pollen off those flowers? I mean,
How do you think they're able to fly?
that too.
Yeah. Those dude, just think about those
Imagine
big
that a
fat
bunch.
bumblebees. Like how big they are compared to their wing size, and they're still flying around. All those little bumblebees are like LeBron James, LeBron
Elite
James
athletes.
creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have like a comparison to bones? Go ahead, Nathan.
Google's telling me that sores, genital herpes, and many other conditions, but there's no good scientific evidence to support like the other uses.
Oh, so
Oh.
you're using propolis for different reasons.
No, but-
Genital herpes.
I haven't had
and cold
herpes in
sores.
weeks.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like a bee extract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Extract is an interesting word too.
I think it's such a cool word. You think it, but if you were eating something that's like an extract, like you're like, I'm pretty healthy.
Because that just
Yeah.
means you like pull it out of something.
Yeah, basically. Like green tea extract.
Yeah, I'm eating an extract of hamburger right now. It's grease. The healthiest
That's a
ever.
cup of hamburger extract.
Yeah,
So like vanilla extract. What is vanilla? Is it a bean?
flour,
So they squish
Yeah,
a bunch
it's a
of
bean,
beans,
right?
bean flour. That's a really good question. What is a vanilla bean? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, vanilla bean.
Well, that's
Yeah,
how
that
they make
makes
the
sense.
ice cream. That flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually named the bean after the ice cream.
Oh,
Let's
I
have
have
some ice cream.
I
Let's
have
go about that.
propolis on here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so beeswax is another important product that people have previously used in waterproofing and fuel. It currently has benefits for health and features in a number of skincare products. Additionally, pharmaceutical industries use it in ointments.
Where did the saying "none of your beeswax" come from? That's a question for.
Hey. Or what about like he made a beeline for the
Which
like,
makes no sense.
like
'Cause
when
the
you're
bee
running?
line, bees fly like drunk people all over the place.
right, yeah, they're all over, or like the dances.
Got myself. You know why?
Oh.
Yeah. Remember you were telling us before the episode last week? Not important. Not live on the show.
For later.
I totally forgot. You're going to have
It's
to
okay.
jog my memory.
Yeah.
So there is propolis on here. So other bee products that can benefit human health include propolis, a resin that bees create, bee bread, bee pollen, royal jelly, beeswax, and bee venom.
Oh, snake bee.
From the stinger.
Mm-hmm.
That's what goes in your arm and makes it itchy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what hurts.
That I do know. I do know that. What do you got, Nathan?
I got something pretty cool.
Okay.
It says that one story says that during the 1800s, women would use beeswax as kind of a foundation to cover up their blemishes. So
Makeup.
if another woman got too close and noticed it, they'd tell them, mind your own beeswax.
Mind your own beeswax. It's like your beeswax falling off your face.
Yeah. Looks like you have a pimple. Say, bitch. Mind your- I put on beeswax this morning. Don't talk about it.
Beeswax. Can you get all this stuff like today? Like if I got a bee and I stripped it of its,
Gotta be.
Like if you caught a wild
Yeah.
bee
you
and
know,
then you held him
stripped it for
hostage or
parts?
what? Yeah.
yeah.
You hold him at gunpoint.
Yeah. Give me your beeswax.
There you go.
But
Propolis
like,
now.
can I get all of this stuff you're listing from a bee? Obviously in small increments, but
Very, very
if I had
tiny
one,
increments.
if I had one bee I was really good friends with.
You would need tons.
You'd have to have like all his friends too.
I say, hey, get your friends.
And just live here.
I've got a test tube for the 7 different things my buddy Liam just said. I want you to squirt some in each of them. Could they do that?
Yeah. I think if you just give him like
Is there
give
any-
him the under of your shed.
been trying
I got a
this.
trade. I got
You're
a trade
catching
deal
on.
for you.
So, is there anything that comes from bees that like we smush the bee and then it turns into something like that? It's bad, violent.
I don't think so. I think
So
that's
it all
I
comes
think
from
you
like
just-
their work.
Yeah, you just want to crush these bees. For
Well,
no
it's just
reason.
like cows. You kill a cow, you get a steak and a burger, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting
bees are
any bee
smaller than
burgers.
cows.
Yeah, but maybe you maybe you squish the bees and you get your royal jelly or you get propolis or whatever.
No, I don't
No,
think
yeah.
we just want the products of bees, not the bee itself.
We want to
Yeah.
keep the bees around.
Well,
Yeah.
some people want the products of cows. They want the milk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
those are dairy cows.
Yeah, right. So like the
They all got
honey
meat.
is the milk.
Can you kill a dairy cow?
Yeah, you could kill anything you
Dude,
want.
we
If
could
you
Eat a
kill
eat it.
dairy
you.
cow.
What?
Can you eat a dairy cow? Is it going to be like a regular burger, regular steak?
No, it's not. The meat
I
off
thought
of
it-
dairy
yeah.
cow isn't like a Angus cow or whatever. You know,
Oh. Interesting.
you don't eat dairy cows.
To spin back on your
Could you, though?
question
Yeah, you could 100%.
with that one bee. So it says the average forager. So it says an average beehive can hold 50,000 bees. Foragers must collect nectar from about 2 million flowers to make 1 pound of honey.
Shut up. What's the average voyager? That's one bee.
Forager.
Forager.
A forager
Dude.
bee.
So then it's, I think that's, yeah. So one
so they call
forager
one.
is
So
one
that's like
bee.
that's like the queen bee's workers is the foragers.
Yeah, there's
Well,
worker bees, there's
Yeah, so
foragers,
there's male bees in the hive are called drones, and female bees in the hive, except for the queen, are called worker bees.
Who put together this hierarchy?
The
The
queen
bees
Most of the
did.
scientists.
The bees put together
Queen
the
bee
hierarchy.
did.
Yeah, we found their
We had to
Rosetta
ask
Stone
'em. Yeah.
on how to speak bee.
What do you call this one? And she just goes. "Bzzz."
We said,
Yeah, that
"Ooh."
sounds
We're
like a drone.
forager.
Actually, they don't make the sounds. So bees, to communicate, they do a dance.
They rub their arms together.
No, those are
That's
Grasshoppers.
house
those are
flies.
flies.
Crickets.
We can crush flies. We
Crickets.
don't
That's how
like flies.
crickets make sound. Is they rub their legs together.
Yeah.
Their pointy legs. Nathan, you got some?
You guys might eat more dairy cow than you think.
What?
It's
I'm
like-
strictly dairy. So I know.
Blasphemy.
I tried. I seeked them
Yeah.
out.
Two birds stoned at once.
after a dairy cow is like retired and they don't
Yeah.
use it to make milk anymore, their meat is primarily turned into low quality ground beef.
Oh, sorry.
Low
Like
quality.
any fast food chain
Yeah.
probably is dairy.
Yeah.
Gross.
That's it. We're
Happens.
boycotting McDonald's, Burger King.
Big dairy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you manage to capture one bee, so in the rest of that bee's lifetime,
It's got to be the right bee.
you'd get a 12th of teaspoon of honey. So
How long do bees live?
that's a great question. Actually, that's not on here. Average lifespan
Wait,
of a bee,
what-
please, Nathan.
Our
We gotta-
expert
yeah.
will have it.
Yeah,
can
we
ask him.
we could hold these questions for him.
Yeah. We'll ask Nathan a few. We don't want Nathan to feel useless.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we need you. Turn off those
He
cameras.
pulls out his flintlock pistol.
What am I? I'm useful.
Tell him it wasn't me.
Hang on.
It was the man in the captain's hat.
Yeah, because I would like to. I don't want to have like a. Well, one, I think it's weird they put them in boxes. Like, give them a better home. Why have we not done?
They
it?
love that.
Well, so that's
Yeah,
they love
they
the,
tell you that
they love the box. Yeah,
cardboard's great.
in a dance. You guys sure you don't want any wood? Nah, dude, this car. This is the best.
It's soft. When it rains, it's even better. It's wet.
Well, so
Yeah.
we use those boxes because the honeycomb that you take out. So when you extract the honey, actually, so like it's put in like capsules. So like that honeycomb that you see, that pattern, all the honey's stored in there. So when you take that sleeve out, you chop off the front of those, so it opens up all those caps, and then all the honey spills out.
Is it not like a when you change your furnace filter?
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Good. Yep.
Nice.
And
Good
you know
job.
what? Now that I think about my furnace filter, it's got some honeycomb looking stuff on there. Just really big.
Dude,
for
the
like fat
honeycomb
bees.
is a very vital pattern in nature and in construction, I think. Because bees are doing
Name
concrete.
3.
Honeycombs.
Yeah, like the cereal.
Yeah, but I want to say that's a pattern that like happens and occurs in nature.
Yeah.
The honeycomb pattern, like the hexagon.
I think the Oompa Loompas lived in honeycomb like huts.
Who's the closest thing that we know to an Oompa Loompa?
Oof.
Who?
I saw somebody the other day. I can't give too many details where I was at or who it was or who it was with because it's a dead giveaway. But I was strict. It was,
I was strict.
It was someone that was older than I thought, and I'm like, this is gonna be a child, and it wasn't. It was wasn't an adult, but it was a teenager, and I'm like, wow. What really sold it? I mean, if the height didn't help, the voice really threw.
They
me
were
for-
orange. And they had purple hair and were orange.
Yeah, they had this
Or
weird
do they have
white.
green hair? They have green hair.
Yeah, this weird white outfit on with huge hips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just jonesing the entire time for some chocolate. Just oddly like, you guys seen any chocolate around here? No. A few minutes later.
Oh, weird.
You're sure you haven't seen any chocolate
Yeah.
around here?
I saw like a group of them circling and singing songs. I was like, there's something going on with those people over there.
What's going
Yeah.
on here? In recent years, it has become clear that honey may not be the most important reason to protect bees. This is because bees play a crucial role in pollination, where they use the hairs on their bodies to carry large grains of pollen between plants. Around 75% of crops produce better yields if animals help them pollinate. Of all animals, bees are the most dominant pollinators of wild and crop plants.
I'm not really gung ho on this pollination thing. I still think it's going over my head a little bit. So I always thought bees, the only people that pollinate were bees. I thought that was their claim to fame.
they're not the only things that pollinate.
But they do by far the most.
Mm-hmm.
What other stuff pollinates?
So,
Some wild animals.
How big? I want to know the biggest
I think
pollinator.
I think even like a deer can pollinate.
Really?
birds, bats, butterflies, moths,
Oh, so it's all
flies.
things that can fly.
beetles, wasps, small mammals, and most importantly, bees, are pollinators. They visit flowers to drink nectar, feed off pollen, and transport pollen grains as they move from spot to spot.
What is nectar?
That's,
That's
the
creme
juice
de
of
la
a flower.
creme. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
So that's what they're taking. They're taking the juice from the flower.
Yeah, they want the nectar to make the honey.
And why do they do this? They just do it because they just were born like that and then no, that's what
Right.
God made it like.
Well,
Like-
because they're getting the nectar and they're turning it into honey to sustain themselves. So once winter comes, they basically hibernate and they eat that honey for nutrition until they can go out.
Right.
But like a bird, birds don't make honey.
No, but they're pollinators.
Because they land on flowers, and some birds drink the nectar of it, like a hummingbird.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you were working out all the time, and then I showed up to your house a couple times a day, and I gave you a protein shake, I'd be your pollinator because I'm helping you grow.
Okay. That makes more sense. Thank you for putting in that. And
That was
Those terms.
really smart of you.
Thanks, man.
but why do you want to do that?
Because I
Who's
like
telling you? What benefit are you getting from bringing me a protein shake?
you get big and strong, and then I could kill you and eat you.
Okay, it's getting a little less cool, but
getting-
it's making more sense.
But it does make sense.
Yeah. So the nectar, yeah, because I always love the saying from the nectar of the gods, you know?
Mm.
So
I mean, it's-
nectar,
it's-
if you're pulling nectar from gods, I don't know how you're getting it. you know?
Oh,
You gotta be
man.
getting it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Are those new shoes?
these are my pickleball shoes. Yeah.
Oh, they look good. I like those.
Yeah, thank you.
Those new shoes?
No.
No, but thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Of course.
Bees, yeah, it's crazy.
Bees don't wear shoes.
I'm surprised. I always thought, can you imagine if they did though?
That'd be pretty cool.
I always thought bees were like the only pollinators, but I guess I didn't love science going through school. Wasn't my best.
I think that
area.
was the only thing I really paid attention in.
I think me too.
I think you just like knowing how the world works, right?
I like knowing shit in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like knowing what happened to the world back then, you know. I prefer the history side of it.
Who was that at Minot High? Who was that heavier set science teacher?
Mr. Norton, the one that passed
No,
away.
not Mr.
Central
Norton.
or Minot High?
Minot High.
Curtis?
Shorter, stout. No,
Dr. Kelly?
but Curtis was awesome. Curtis was my chemistry teacher. He was a cool fella. I liked him.
Yeah.
Dr. Kelly?
No,
I know who you're talking
I
about.
can't remember his name.
Mr. Liebelt, the old guy?
No, nope. He's. I'm sorry if this gets around to him, but he was a round fella. He wasn't like, just
He had glasses.
yeah, glasses.
You were there most recently, Nathan. Can you remember any science teachers?
This is riveting
Are you
podcasting.
googling the MPS science staff right now?
Yeah.
I just can't remember his name.
He's kind of got a square head a little bit.
Mm,
I feel like I can
Round
picture
head.
him in my head.
I just cannot. But he was my anatomy teacher, and he made class fun. I liked him.
Yeah.
He was a cool guy, and I think that's where it stems from too. Where it's like that was a class that I clung to because I thought anatomy was cool and like learning how the body works and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so I got on the ship with Broden there for a while. Where
I think
I like to
teachers that if you're a teacher and you make your class fun, it's way easier to learn. Because one of the easiest classes and most I remember from, do you know what it is, Broden?
Mr. Hendershot?
Yep. we were in a class
100%.
together.
His
World
class
history.
was awesome, dude. One of my favorite teachers I've ever had.
Yeah, and it's world history, so I think that's why I remember so much from it is because it was so interactive
Right.
and engaging.
And when you think of like world history, like it's not the most riveting subject,
yeah.
but like when you make it awesome like that,
Yeah.
of course you're gonna remember that.
But chemistry, Dr. Kelly, hated learning from him.
Really,
I
I
don't
loved him.
I mean, he was a good guy, but like, God, that class just couldn't lock in, right? So I don't remember very much from it. I know a Bunsen burner and an Erlenmeyer class, but that was also from Breaking Bad, you know?
there you go.
You know?
Who is the better teacher,
Heisenberg for sure.
math or
exactly.
high school?
Exactly.
Trailer House Meth.
Yeah.
Or-
Walter White.
I really
Trump-
enjoyed how he would like not sugarcoat things when he'd tell students that they were like dumb, basically.
Yeah. I just didn't like that he would, if you misspelled something or didn't capitalize the right word, you'd get it. It would be wrong. I'm like, damn, this is like a drill sergeant. What
Oh,
class
yeah.
would you learn about? Actually, Nathan, it sounds like you got the teachers pulled up. So before I change the subject.
I think they changed it up quite a bit. Mitchell Meyer.
No,
Well,
I'm going to
the
find
world
this
will
guy.
never know.
Yeah. If you're listening, tell us who you are. He's
I will find you.
If
Huh?
you fit this description, can you imagine he's listening? He's like, he's talking about me.
Wait, you
And
said
he
it
comments, he's like, hey,
was
it's
MCC
me.
or Central?
MCC.
Who says MCC?
Magic City campus.
Yeah, I was just saying, I've never said MCC.
I know. I've never said the abbreviation though.
It was my junior year. Anatomy and something else. Anatomy and
Yeah.
physiology or something.
I could think of Mr. Sievertson.
No.
Yeah, man. All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah. So bees are very
Oh,
intelligent.
I was gonna change it. What was I gonna say? I was gonna ask a question. Oh yes, what class do you learn about the bee stuff? Would that be like biology, where you learn about pollination and
No, because they
is
wouldn't
that-
talk about bees and biology. That you'd be talking more about like human
Humans.
biology. You'd probably learn about that in like flower class.
Yeah, I took
Botany? Did you take botany and horticulture?
Botany and
Botany.
horticulture.
You ever in that room?
No.
No. Just walk through it. You'd be like, I'm not taking this.
I didn't know
did
we
walk
had
through
that.
I did walk in there one time in my entire high school career. I go, this
Yeah.
place is weird.
I mean, now it's funny because the older I get, the more I'm like, I should have taken class like that.
100%.
But in high school, I'm like, there's no way I'm taking botany.
Right.
You know?
yeah.
But looking back, you're like, that'd be pretty cool to learn.
Yeah, you're messing around with plants, you get to learn some stuff. But in high school, you're like, I'm taking the easy shit.
Right.
You know? I'm taking, business
Entrepreneurship.
ethics.
Was it Ben Burke?
Yeah.
Yeah, round fella.
Yeah, I wish I would have taken like welding or like construction
me
in
too.
high school.
I really
Yeah.
wish I took construction, and that was just a 2-hour block of just dicking off every day. It was.
Were you
so
a part
fun.
of the crew that built the house or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I was there.
Built a beehive.
We built the deck in the back, and then for the last half hour of the class, me and you remember Willie?
Brent
Yeah.
Williams?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. I was to say, I know a lot of Willies.
Yeah, we
Nelson.
came back to class and we put
Wonka.
hard hats on, and then we broke boards over our heads with hard hats on.
Serious?
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
what?
Yeah.
That explains so much, man. No
Maybe-
wonder why you turned out like this.
This is why.
No wonder
I
why
am.
he turned out like that. Brent Williams?
yeah.
Yeah, I used a 2x4.
I had 6x6.
Yeah. No, but we did it when there was
Maybe I
the,
didn't
cla-
want
the
to take
class from
construction.
Central. All the kids from Central were coming up and like looking to classes, like figure out what you want to apply for, like what
Yeah.
classes
Oh,
you might
yeah.
want. And then so we're like, she's teaching, like talking about the whole room that we're in, like because they're teaching them like there's a little sub part of the room for like shingles and stuff like that, whatever. And then over in the corner, me and Brent breaking boards over each other's heads.
While the underclassmen are going through
Yeah.
tours. Oh, that's awesome.
So
That's
funny.
one way to sell them. They're like, we just get to hit
Stand
each
here.
other with wood.
And then Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes out of the corner. He's got a 2x4 on his shoulder.
I
that's
was
it.
thinking of who's the Dugan kid I played hockey with.
Ryan Dugan.
Is that his first name Ryan?
I don't know.
Gosh, I don't know, but
Doug?
he was
Doug Dugan.
no, not him. But God, this guy Doogie, if you're out there, he's a character. Sorry.
No,
Really.
don't apologize. So how does this affect humans?
Bees.
Let's learn. Farming practices, global warming, and disease are just a few reasons why bee numbers are declining. Experts are concerned about the impact on world food supplies, especially fruits, nuts, and vegetables. They say that without bees, there will be no more nuts, coffee, cocoa, tomatoes, apples, or almonds, to just name a few crops.
So it's all of those crops that bees are pollinating.
Those are dominant for like bees. That's like the main of what they do that we see in like stores.
So bees pollinate apple trees?
Oh, yeah.
Really? What's a tree need help for?
It's just
And-
not getting it around.
Right. It needs pollen in the stamen.
It's crazy.
Pollen what?
In the stamen. It's like a reproductive part of a flowering plant.
Yeah.
You did take botany.
I didn't.
It's like don't talk
We
shit.
got a
on
sleeper
botany.
agent over here, yeah.
You look
Yeah,
like
he said my wake up phrase.
you'd fit well in a greenhouse. If the
See, I wish
I'm
I would've
working
took
on a
that-
greenhouse.
Because
Yeah.
now I want to like I want to like make some plants in my backyard or like try to grow something. Like
Yeah.
I would have a leg up. I'd already know.
Yeah. When do we? When do?
Just put a big sign here that says nectar here and all the bees are coming. A big light up sign.
When do you think we stop doing weird stuff like that?
What?
Just new things. You know, I'm not.
I don't
Broden
know.
just said he's building a greenhouse.
Yeah.
That's a little.
Well, for
Yeah.
work,
Oh.
Yeah, at work.
Oh, I thought you were at
not
one
in our
back of
backyard.
leaves. I thought you were putting together a greenhouse in the backyard.
Yeah,
I'm
he
like,
doesn't know it yet, but I'm slowly turning the
Yeah.
garage into a greenhouse.
That's why I'm like, okay, are we really doing this?
I don't know. I don't think I'll probably ever stop unless I'm in like my 60s or 70s. Like just figuring like,
Yeah.
well, because I go to work every week and then I got to have something to do on the weekends. I'm like, well, maybe I'll try.
Yeah.
I'm like, next, I want it. So I spent like an hour in a sauna this past weekend in Fargo, I had a family reunion, and the Airbnb we had a little sauna attached to it.
Oh, a sauna. A sauna is a management software, and I'm like, why are you using a management software? Sorry.
Side
continue.
hobby. But I'm
Keep
sitting
track
in
of
there,
his bees.
and
I
I'm
want to figure out how to lead.
yeah, I'm looking around. And I'm like, this is easy enough to build. So now I'm kicking around the idea, like maybe I should build a sauna.
Yeah.
And
Next
just have
week
it.
he's gonna be like, I'm taking up whittling. You know?
I have tried whittling before. I tried to make a spoon a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I got
See,
like halfway
I picture
through.
you a lot like my cousin Brendan Nelson.
Yeah,
He's always, every time I talk to him, he's doing something. Like he's like, I got a lathe.
got a lathe.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm making chess pieces.
that's pretty cool. See, I've always wanted to do
Yeah.
that too. I've always wanted to make my own chessboard and chess pieces.
And now I don't think he's lathing very much. I think he's out of it. But I don't know what his next thing's going to be.
It's gonna be something.
Like, oh, yeah, I'm doing
It's
this.
expensive to just buy it and not really mess around with it
Now.
anymore.
Yeah. Try building a greenhouse. That's can't be the cheapest of endeavors.
It can't be
I
that
think
expensive
gardening
either.
would be like, not like for flowers, but for like food. I think that'd be a good little thing to get into, like grow your own tomatoes and cucumbers,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I
That'd
would
be a
So
nice
do
little
bee-
hobby.
So if I'm going to go start a garden, would bees automatically just know, like, okay, here's the new plot. We got to go pollinate?
No.
Maybe.
So who do you call? Their leader?
What?
You call and say, hey, I got some stuff.
And they go,
I need a crew here this coming summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they do that, and then you go, what? 3 months?
You're out that far?
Yeah. What's going on here?
He's like, yeah, we got 4 driveways to finish.
We're slammed this summer.
Trying to build up our concrete side.
And this dude needs shingles, and
Yeah.
you're falling
But the
in line.
bees
here.
would know, though, right?
They might
If I
find
sta-
it, but I just don't know, like, because they have to get the nectar from something. And I don't know if a lot of stuff that we're like trying to grow in like average gardens are giving them that nectar. Like that's where they go for like flowers and stuff like that.
So if I'm going to start a garden in my backyard, is this something I have to think about?
Bees?
I don't
No.
think so.
I don't think anyone has ever thought about bees when they're trying to start a garden.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Okay.
Do you want to start a garden in your backyard?
Shayna wants to start a garden.
I like that
Well,
That's a
idea.
good idea.
Yeah, free food.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Make
Mine
some
is, yeah,
pickles.
it's like, cool, 7 months later, we got 4 tomatoes.
No, sooner
Yeah.
than that. Yeah, way more than 4.
How fast did they grow?
We'll cover that on the gardening episode.
Be good. We got a gardening expert we can bring in.
My mom,
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
we go. Mom looks like a good green thumb.
she does.
Yeah.
It was just Broden's mom's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom. I know she's
Mama
going to be
Wonder,
watching
like,
this, so
Yeah.
Yep.
I love you.
Well, I mean, it's a day past. 2 days past at this
Yeah.
point, but
Same old.
belated.
Additionally, the emerging medicinal properties of bee venom and other bee products may never be accessible without bees to provide them. In financial terms, the pollination of fruits and vegetables by wild bees across the United States has high economic value. One 2020 study found that wild bees were responsible for a significant portion of net income from blueberries. There's a direct link between the economic yield of farmers and the presence of bees. In 2012, experts estimated that total pollination to be worth $34 billion, with a large portion of this amount due to bees.
Damn.
So,
that's a lot.
no bees, no pollination. It's just going to cost us more to try to do this.
So they're not like scarce, are they, bees? We shouldn't be worried about this.
No, but they're rapidly declining.
Yeah.
How rapid?
Too rapid.
Yeah, like scary rapid.
Like, would they make 70 years?
I'm not even.
Another 70?
We could ask the expert if you guys want me to phone him now.
Yeah,
We should, yeah, because all I got
Happen.
left on here is fun bee facts.
All right, I'm going to call him. You guys keep going.
Yeah, because I'm curious. I always have that conversation about, you obviously want to leave a good planet for your kids, right?
Yeah.
But they're kids is kids. Kids is kids is kids. Where do you draw
How
the
far,
line?
how far do you care?
Where do you draw the line?
I think you can only go as far as
Broden's
your
like-
kids as kids, because then you're going to see them.
Talking to the mic, Jim Bob.
Are you willing to be on the Three Dudes podcast?
Live on the Three Dudes podcast.
It's happening right now.
You're live,
Tell them it's the
Josh.
B episode.
Yeah, it's the B episode. We need an expert. Yeah, you're the expert.
You have to do nothing special. We'll just put your voice into the microphone.
Are you willing to accept these terms? Okay. All right.
Sure.
All right.
Now say hi to the audience.
Tell us why we're calling you, because
Obviously,
just so they know that you're somewhat of some sort of an expert beyond us three.
tell us your bee credentials.
Yeah.
I guess I had a tough time hearing that.
Okay. Well, what we want to know is, you're an apiarist, right?
Yep,
Yeah, and you own a honey company, correct?
I do.
Okay.
So does the honey company come with like the beehives? Like you got it all, right? You're doing the bottles of honey plus the actual living animals.
Yes,
About how many hives do you have, Josh?
10.
10 hives.
Did it come like with the hives and stuff? No, I
So,
guess I
Take
kind of
us.
started from scratch. And
Yeah, take
I
us
started
through
with
your
one and-
startup.
Tell me
guess
how
I-
you got into this. Start
Yeah,
there.
yeah. How you got into it and go
Are you in
from
a
there.
bee family?
a few different things. And I guess I've always been afraid of bees.
Good start. Good start.
Easton
start.
was just talking about
Just
that.
taking it by the balls, man.
And
Facing your fears.
geez, what actually got me? I mean, of course, my neighbors are also beekeepers.
Oh, of
and,
course.
The neighbors are bees.
Yeah.
My
which
neighbors.
I guess that kind of got me going, but being afraid of them and just curious and interested in everything they do, I guess. And so 2 years ago, I just decided to dive in and get my first hive. And
And is there like a hive ordering company, or do you go to your neighbors and just take one of theirs?
that is how I got my first one. They actually gave me one of theirs, and then I don't even think a month went by, and then I needed two, and then two turned into
So-
more, and
So why do you
Hopefully
need
my-
two? They don't have
my
enough.
10 will turn into 20 this year.
So do you need two because they like need more room to live or make more honey?
Nope. I mean, you'd be fine with just one, but like as the year progresses, the one box that they live in, they will outgrow that, and then basically that's like in the summer here. I'm sure you see it as you drive. You'll see a bunch of boxes in the field that are only like 1 or 2 high,
Mhm.
and then by the end of the summer, they're 6 foot tall.
And do you think that maybe we're still using like 1760s technology with cardboard boxes for them to live in?
Yes. But,
Why do we not put them
Yes,
in penthouses?
yes, but it is the best way, because actually that is another thing that actually got me kind of interested in keeping bees was the flow hive.
Excess
And
cardboard.
boy, I probably shouldn't knock something. And well, it just didn't work for me. It's a really cool idea, I guess. Still kind of the same concept in the boxes, but instead of actually like pulling the frames of honey out and extracting them, you just turn a key on the top, and basically like a tube opens up on their like fake plastic comb, I guess you could call it, and the
Yep.
honey just drains out the bottom. But for me, they hated it. Like they put no honey in there at all, and
Do you do like
Yeah.
do you do like a focus group with your bees that's like, we didn't like this, we want to go back?
didn't hear that.
He's wondering if you asked the bees why they didn't like that hive.
They freak out, start stinging them a bunch.
Yeah, how many
No,
times have you been stung since you started?
Well, yesterday will be my fourth. 'Cause
Four
I
is
took
all?
one in the ankle and one in the knee yesterday, and
So it's
but other
very
than that, only 2 times prior in the last 2 years.
so even working directly with bees, it's very few and far between for you.
Very few and far between. It like once it warms up and gets to be 80, and like the dandelions are popping, when they have something to go out and do, then they're pretty much like focused on that. And which yesterday I was actually trying to flip boxes around and basically turn the top into the bottom,
Mhm.
and there is nothing out there for them right now, and so they're not happy, I guess. Put it
Yeah.
long story short,
And they're taking it out on you.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
Make flowers.
Do you wear that super suit?
That's what I was gonna ask. So like when you get stung like 2 or 4 times here and there, Is
Yep.
that just because they don't really even care to mess with you at all while you're out there, or is that due to the suit that you're wearing that they just can't sting you anyway?
Oh, they definitely can through the suit. My other two that I got was I came inside. I don't know what I had to do, but I took my shoes off at the basement. Somehow there was one in my shoe when I put my shoe back on. And so that one got me in the foot. And then last year when we were unloading them, it can kind of like crawl up underneath your suit too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the one got me last year, was it was just up and underneath inside somewhere. And then when I sat in the seat of my tractor, I squished him and then he stung me.
So when they sting you, do they die?
They do.
Okay, so you don't have to put them in solitary or anything for acting up.
No.
That's good.
No.
So you're going to the hole.
No. And then yesterday, I mean, I was wearing some stupid shoes with I don't know, like an opening in my pants, and I had two crawl up my pants.
Pause. Where?
You
Yeah.
left his fly down.
Kind of my own fault.
Yeah.
Right, or that.
So Broden was telling us earlier a little bit how there's kind of like bee gang wars. You know, you don't want to put your hive too close to your neighbor's hive. How does that work?
Well, that'll probably, I mean, it doesn't really matter how close you are or whatever, but like if you have a weaker hive that really can't defend itself,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, obviously other bees can, I don't know what they do, whether they can like smell something sweet or how they locate it, but if they were to find that, they call it robbing. They'll just go in and rob everything out of pretty much, and which has happened to a couple of mine, and it yeah.
Okay, so
Which I don't know, like if I think I sent a snap yesterday to Liam and Broden of I've actually started feeding like some dry pollen substitute in my yard.
okay,
And yesterday there was a little bit of wind and it blew my bucket like across the yard.
okay,
And like they could tell that the bucket how do I explain this? Basically they knew where it was, but the bucket had moved. So there was probably, I don't even know how many thousands of bees, but just kind of honing in on that spot.
where the bucket
where
was.
Yeah.
So when you
Which
put
it-
your
go
little
ahead.
box, the hive, do you have to own that land, or do you like buy it from the farmer, like the little 4x4 square, or how does that work?
A lot of them are actually, it's kind of just an agreement made, I guess, with the landowner. A lot of them are actually looking for someone to put
Hiveman.
bees on their yard.
So like
I've
it's
actually-
a farmer
Yeah.
that owns
Yeah,
the land, and then you put your hive in there, and he lets you do it in return that you give him some honey at the end of the year, right?
Yep, for sure.
Okay.
I got a note on here that says an average beehive can hold 50,000 bees. So now that you have 10, does that number seem somewhat accurate? Can you Rain Man those bees as they're flying around and kind of count?
Yep. Yep, that's about right on. I'd say like midway through the year, and even a little better than that, 50 to 70,000 for like a really strong one, probably.
How are you counting those?
And then now, like,
10.
they'll kind of dwindle throughout the winter. So I'd say now there's probably 15 to 20,000 in each hive. So they're kind of small. But then as the spring progresses and the summer will go, the queen will start to ramp up like her egg laying process she'll get to a point where it's about 2,000 eggs per day that she'll lay.
Jeez,
And
way
then
better than
21
chicken.
days from there, a bee will hatch, and so I mean, you can kind of do the math and see how fast your hive can grow, you know. And
How do you find the queen? Because I've seen some videos where people, they open up and they look for the queen. They're like, oh, there it is. And I'm looking, I'm like, I still can't see it. Is it just the one bee that everyone tries to hump?
yeah,
They try to find that queen.
It's hard, especially when there's 1,000 other bees in the way on one frame, and It just takes some getting used to, but she is longer, and
Okay, so it does look different.
oh yeah, she's about twice the size of the other bees that are in there.
Could you put a little red cape on the queen bee so you can find it super easy?
Yeah, they actually have all certain queens. They call them breeder queens. They'll like if you have a really good one, that's one that you want to breed from, I guess, and keep that stock. They actually make little stickers that fit right on their back with numbers, or they do have marking pens too, where you can just put like a red or a whatever dot. Actually, the colors go by years. I think 2024 is a white. So like this year, all your new 2024 queens will have a white dot on their back if you were to buy one or mark them on your own.
And can you just go to like queenbee.org and just ship a couple queens to you, or how do you get a queen? Like, what if your queen dies?
It is that easy. I don't know about queenbee.org, but
It's not
Domain.
natural.
there's numerous places that there's actually companies where that's what they do is breed queens and sell to commercial operations and hobbyists
And they ship them just right in the mail.
Yep.
How big's the box?
It comes in like a little a box for one, but then inside that box will be a little wood or plastic cage, like the size of about the size of a lighter, I'd say.
Okay.
Like a regular lighter. And then it has a sugar, like basically a cork made out of sugar that's plugged in the end. And they eat their way out of that once you put the whole little box in the hive. And
So is that's how you introduce a queen bee to a new hive, right? As you put that in there and they get used to the bee, or they get used to the hive and stuff?
Yep, that's the point of the sugar is it's like a time release to where your success rate of just dumping a new queen in there without the bees killing it would be a lot lower if they didn't get to like smell the pheromone of a new queen for the 2 to 3 days, however long it takes for them to adjust, I guess.
So bees are really smart, but they're also really stupid because they fly into those upside down pop bottles.
Pretty
Those
much.
I also think those would be hornets.
Yeah, those.
Okay, so you're not a hornet, man.
Yeah, a honeybee is way different than a hornet or a wasp, right? Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Like, they don't even make honey, do they?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do they get along? Or is it like red state, blue state?
It's red state, blue state.
Okay.
Definitely. You'll actually see, like, because hornets will try to also get in there and eat or steal whatever food, honey that's in their hive, and it doesn't work out very well unless you had like a really weak hive. Usually the honeybee would come out on top of that one.
So I think Broden was telling me that North Dakota is the highest producer for honey, and the second state was California. But the California bees are actually North Dakota bees because they transfer back and forth.
Pretty much.
What do you do with your bees in the wintertime? Like if it gets this cold here, is that some of your hives that you send to California and then they come back?
No, mine actually stay here. They're just out in the yard and
You just
cozy
insulate
up.
them, right?
This year I didn't actually. I just insulated the top. Last year I insulated the whole thing, and you really don't need to. It's just for peace of mind, I guess. It makes myself feel like they'd be doing better in there, but you really don't need to.
So they take the cold weather fine.
They do. Yep.
How much is a beehive if I want to get one tomorrow? Or if I want to buy a queen?
I guess if you wanted to start, what's your process?
Yeah, for one hive, what would you do, and like what would it cost if you just wanted to start one hive?
Just one hive. The bees would be like $150 to $200.
It's not horrible,
And
actually.
then about $200 to $300 for a total hive too. That would come with probably like 4 boxes. That way you actually have room for them to grow and put honey in the top 2 boxes, and then they would live basically in the bottom 2 or 1, depending on how you want to do it. And
Okay.
but eventually one would turn into, like I said, at 2,000 eggs per day when the queen is really,
Fertile.
like at her peak.
When she's in heat.
She's getting attacked by the dogs.
Yeah.
Wait, so how do they do?
Pretty much, but I mean, you do that kind of math at that many eggs and bees hatching and being raised every day, how quick that they can actually outgrow that box. So it wouldn't be long, and you would have 2 hives, or else.
So how
Do
Jade,
bees,
are they doing it the old-fashioned way, the reproduction?
or is it
As far-
asymmetrical?
As far as what?
Yeah, like so a
Asexual.
queen lays eggs. Is there
Yep.
certain bees in the hive that she only lets those bees
Are pollinating those
yeah,
eggs?
that she gets it on with? Or how does a queen bee go about laying that many eggs?
Where's the king bee?
Yeah, who's the king?
Who's the stud bee here that's
Yeah.
really laying it down on her?
Which he would be the drone, which that also happens at like peak of the summer when your hives are kind of at their capacity. It's their main goal to reproduce, and by that I mean like
It's just like-
leave pretty much. That's so to get them to
Bee
not
myself.
outgrow their box. That's kind of why they call it beekeeping. Like you try to keep them there and not have them leave. So once they're overpopulated, they will actually prepare to leave pretty much, which they call a swarm.
Okay.
And the drones are kind of like which is the male bee, they're kind of at their peak that time of year. So the queen will lay probably multiple little cells, which they call a queen cell, which is going to become the new queen. And she'll take half, if not more, of the bees in that hive with her and leave and go start a new colony. And out of the queen cells will come a new virgin queen, and she'll go
Uncut.
off. Yeah, so
Madonna.
the question you asked is,
So
she
that's
will
what
go off-
Osama was promising all those guys.
9 bees.
But she'll go off and mate with, I believe it's like 20 to 30 drones, and which that'll be her only time mating throughout her life, and then she's full of eggs for the next year or 2 or however.
So you had
fertilized eggs.
10 hives over the course of last summer and fall, right?
Yep.
At the end of the year, how much honey did you end up walking away with?
Yeah, I'm curious how the honey distribution,
How many pounds of honey?
I want to say about 850.
Oh,
Which we did have one hive swarm though, so they got too large too quick and left. And so by the time like the new queen was laying again and basically producing, so after they leave, you lose half your bees. That hive didn't make any honey. It basically just enough for them to keep through the winter.
Yeah.
No like extra surplus to take from them.
so how many hives could you start if you were to start like a full on, 100 hive upscale production where you're ripping through? How much could you do on your own? Because you got 10 now. Is it 20? Is it 50? Is it?
Yeah, and there's people that do it with just, like a 2-man crew that run like 100 or 200 hives.
Damn.
But that would be your job, then,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah. What's the biggest honey competitor right now? Like the staple brand in the
I
market?
think the biggest honey producer is that would that be Sue Bee?
Oof.
What am I gonna
I
buy
really
for the
don't even
grocery store?
know if that, like what you would call. Yeah, they're definitely a big one, but are they a producer? Yeah, they would be a producer, I guess. But
What am
I
I-
think they kind of take in a lot of honey from everyone around the country, and
What's the
bottle and make their own product, I guess.
What's the Coca-Cola of honey? If I'm gonna buy a pop, you buy, Coca-Cola top of the notch, right? If I go grab honey off the shelf, what's like the biggest market cap? I know
As
what that
far
brand.
as-
Well, what's that brand? Like, what's
Yeah,
the biggest
like-
brand name that I would know?
The biggest brand in honey, I guess.
Sue Bee's got to be one of them, but do we even see anything sous bee around here?
I've never heard of it in my life. But I also don't
Right.
know bees were not the only pollinators, so bad person to ask.
Yeah, I get. That they're definitely one of the biggest, but as far as like around here goes, I think everything's pretty small. I know in Canada, Bee Made is one of the big ones, but we don't see none of that product here either.
Yeah, we don't need it though.
I think North Dakota's pretty good about keeping things local, I guess,
But
on that
there's
end of things.
obviously there's a lot of different like beekeeping companies like where people do it like as like a full-time job and like mass produce it, right?
Yeah. Which they would sell off their honey to like a sous bee or
Right.
something like that,
So sous bee would be like the middleman who's like processing it and selling it and marketing it.
Right.
They're not
yeah.
actually beekeepers.
I don't think so. But
Okay.
maybe they would have some, but I doubt it. I don't think that's what they do.
If somebody wanted to start, like, if Broden wanted to start a hive in our backyard, is that possible? Or are there like some kind of regulations that you can't have bees inside city limits? Or would it just be counterintuitive that you would do it in town because there might not be so much for them to get pollen from and produce honey just because you're in town compared to being out on a farmer's land?
Yeah, some cities do have like those regulations, but I don't think Minot is one. There's probably more littered throughout Minot than what you would think. Obviously the zoo has one. Those come and go. They have to go outside pretty much to be able to feed themselves, so that they go and do whatever. But it's actually like in some of the bigger cities, people do it on rooftops and balconies, and yeah, totally 100% possible to do it in your backyard.
Do you know why a lot of the honeys, if you were to go buy one off a shelf, why are they in the shape of a bear?
Bears love honey.
I think that stems back to Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I actually I got that a few times this year, and they were like, "Why are your bottles not bears?" And I just don't like.
Because I'm an adult man.
They were on sale.
Not a believer. I think he's fake.
Bears aren't real.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I guess I don't like the bears. I don't think, like, once you get down towards their feet, I don't think they squeeze as good as the ovaled ones.
true, they don't.
Oh. But you're a big jar guy too, a big mason jar.
I am, yeah.
So
I like that.
Here's a good beekeeping
Classic.
question. What kind of crop would you like your bees to be near so it produces maybe the best tasting honey?
I gotta go with clover on that one.
Clover?
Like a
Yeah.
4-leaf?
Yeah.
Lucky bees.
So what kind of
The,
like
the
what
sweet clover, though, you see it everywhere around the lake. It's like
right.
3 foot tall and yellow, and yeah, that one's definitely my clover and alfalfa.
So
that
there's
kid from the
from the little
Rascals.
Yeah, alfalfa. What kind of does that produce darker honey or lighter honey? And then what's kind of the difference between those? Is it just taste or what?
Yeah, clover and alfalfa, should be on the lighter end of the spectrum for honey, I guess, but there's so many different things that they can get into along the way that can change things up a little bit, and actually last year towards the end of the year, I had a sunflower field about a half mile from my hives, and that actually, which those all bloomed after the clover bloom was done. And everything was kind of the wax was bright orange. The honey was even more orangish than normal. You actually might have a little bit of a mixture of that right now, Broden.
Oh, the stuff that you gave me?
Yep.
So is it...
Which I
So
thought
good.
I could definitely taste it, and I thought that stuff was pretty good.
Are you going straight hive to bottle, or do you have to do any processes to actually get
Yeah.
it to be
Yeah, you have
get
to
people-
spin it out, which, but that's it. I guess that's another thing that kind of got me going on my own was that I appreciate the keeping it raw and
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
not processing it.
Are you, Josh?
You're a big raw dog honey guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
So-
your honey?
What do you have to do for that? So obviously you take a
Spin it,
comb
what does
out
that
and
mean?
then you put it. What do you mean spin it?
Okay. Well, it's you would take a comb out, which on the comb there's a bunch of
Bunch
cells,
of caps.
pretty much. Yep. So then you have to peel those caps off to where the honey can get out of there, and it's sticky. Like it really don't just drain on its own. So you put it in a spinner, which
Centrifugal
gets
force.
it spinning in a circle and basically whips all the honey out of its little cells.
That's on
and
here.
And it just hits the walls.
Yep, hits the walls and drains out a tube on the bottom, and
Then you just got to filter out some beeswax chunks and stuff and some honeycomb.
yeah, and that's pretty much it. Really not a whole lot of wax, but yeah.
So
That's-
how good would you say honey is for you? Like, is there anything better that you could put in your body?
I'm not sure, but it's got to be good because I've kind of told you my little theory
Right.
of getting sick and whatnot. It's worked for me. And
Go
with
ahead.
the
Go ahead
allergy-
and tell the audience, Josh, about.
Share your
Okay.
theory.
Yeah.
And the allergy thing, which I do or used to get really bad allergies, and I still get them. So does it get rid of them? No, definitely not. But does it help? I think so.
And this
And as
is
far
due
as-
to
as-
consuming honey. You think?
I think so. I've been doing it every day for about 2 years now, and then like the amount of times getting sick also, it's got to help with the immune. I rarely get sick anymore.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, which I just did like a week ago, but that was the first time. And
Well, the wood knocking doesn't last that long.
right, yeah.
What was the story you were telling me about? They found honey in like an Egyptian pharaoh tomb or something like that.
Something like that. That was some odd thousands of years old. That was still edible. So they say still edible. They're not saying I would eat it, but that's the rumor on the street. Is it never goes bad.
So speaking of that, with like being edible for that long and stuff, like the shelf life of honey, like in the jars that you've gave us, once it starts getting down to the bottom and it starts to turn like white and get really hard,
Yeah.
you just heat it back up and it's all good to go? Or what kind of,
Yeah.
is it just turn
Yeah.
into candy?
I actually leave mine solid like that. I like it hard, I guess, more than.
Pardon?
Yeah, I knew that one.
Happens. Welcome to the show.
Crystallized.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's the beekeeping term anyway. That's what they say in the apiary conventions.
Give my old
You ever go to
Crystallized.
any conventions, Josh? Any meetings?
Not yet, but it will be. It's in the future.
I like it.
As you get bigger, obviously.
Yeah, there's just a few that put on a pretty good thing, I guess, and there's discounts on equipment and stuff like that.
So you would say you have a passion for this. It's not just about making some extra money on the side. It's you really enjoy doing this.
For sure, yeah, it has nothing to do with making any money on the side. Yeah, like I said, they're just interesting creature, and yeah, I like when they're in my yard because I can look at them more often than not, and the stuff they find and the stuff, it's amazing what, like when water is not around, how they can find one little pool or like the bucket of stuff on the ground.
Liam was just saying about how he found there's bees by his work truck, and it was a hot day last summer, so he poured some water out on the tailgate for them, just in case they were overworked.
and they probably went to it,
Make him feel better.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I did my part.
Liam did a good deed. Then is what you're saying.
He did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Josh, for the people listening, where can they get your honey, and what is your honey brand?
It's the Hideaway Honey Company is the brand, and as for now, we just do the farmers market stuff and
Around
that's,
Minot.
Yep, in Minot. Which that's been it so far. I mean, maybe we'll start hitting a couple other, what are they, flea markets or something like that. But pretty much sold out of everything that I wanted to sell last year. Just doing the farmers market thing. So we'll see where it goes from there.
And you're on Facebook and stuff, right? So people can look you up.
Yep, we are.
Okay, yeah, that's Hideaway Honey Company, right?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
Josh, thanks for coming on the show, dude.
Yeah, that was awesome, Josh.
You bet.
Our audience is going to appreciate the expertise rather than our bullshit we throw around on the show.
Yeah, well, I'll have to watch this week and see if there's anything you guys missed and let you know.
Oh, gosh, yeah, just skip to your part.
Yeah. All right, Josh, we'll talk to you later. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Yep, see ya.
Yep, bye.
Boom. Josh from the Hideaway Honey Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, go give that page a like, give them a follow. Go down to the flea market. Me and Broden have been on this honey for a while.
Yeah.
It's some of the best stuff. I mean,
It's awesome.
solid, raw, organic honey. You don't get it from the store. You're not forking over your money to
Right.
some Joe
And it's-
Schmo. This
yeah.
is some guy that obviously has a passion for it. Throw a little support.
Local guy.
Yeah.
Get rid of your genital warts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rub it on your pickle.
Dude,
Your
he
eyes,
was
your
telling
pickle.
me that the one time I got a cut at work, and he had a jar, and he had a jar of honey in his truck, and he's like, "Dude, rub honey on it, rub honey." And you could do it, I guess, and
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah,
But-
all right.
I'll be.
Also, this is also a new format. This is the second week in a row that we've had a guest. Let us know what you think. Of course, we got good feedback on the first episode we did it. Let us know on this episode how long you like the conversations. You know, I think that one was a little bit longer than the first episode, but we're getting good information. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Always
Let us
good to
know what
have
you
an
think.
expert phone in and actually
do you want the expert in the
have
middle?
some ideas.
Do you want him at the end? Do you want him at the beginning? I
Or
think-
do you just want him the whole show?
Yeah. Or do you want us to stop and we'll just give you their contact? You can call them and talk to them about honey.
Yeah.
So, Liam, anything else you got? Nathan, I think, what are we at? An hour 20-ish? Hour 15?
We'll wrap it up. I just had some fun facts that anybody listening could have found on Google like I did. So we'll call that an episode at an hour 20. And thank you, everybody, for listening, supporting us. If you do. If you don't support us, don't tell us. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Don't forget, 3 Dudes on Facebook and Spotify and whatnot, and Hideaway Honey. Go look at them too.
Peace out.